class. So in the first video we have learned about the Vijayanagara Empire's introduction. That is, who founded Vijayanagara Empire, when was it founded, how many dynasties ruled Vijayanagara Empire, what are the contributions, everything we will be learning in this lesson I have told you in the first video. So Vijayanagara Empire was ruled by the great four dynasties, and many kings ruled over Vijayanagara Empire. So in this video we will learn one by one about all the dynasties that ruled Vijayanagara Empire. So let us start the lesson with the Sangama dynasty. Harihara was the greatest king of Vijayanagara Empire. He was the first king. Not only that, he has laid a strong foundation for the Vijayanagara Empire that could last for 300 years. If he had not laid a good foundation, that Vijayanagara Empire maybe would have not lasted for 300 years. So we can say that Harihara was the greatest kings of Vijayanagara Empire, who had a great impact on the Vijayanagara history. As soon as he took over the power, what he did was he captured all the regions of Tungabhadra river, the places near the Tungabhadra river. This was the first thing he did after he got his power. Harihara extended his empire to Konkan coastal areas of the west, to Nellore and Kadapa of east, that is in Andhra Pradesh, to the Krishna river of the north, and till Kaveri river in the south. You can see the orange lines marked in this map, children. That is the boundary of, that is the extension of King Harihara's empire. This was the boundary of the Harihara king's empire. In this map you can see river Krishna and river Kaveri. Once again we shall revise the points, okay? Harihara was the first king of the Sangama dynasty. He ruled from 1336 to 1357 CE. He ruled from 1336 to 1357 CE. He laid a strong foundation for his empire by expanding his empire from the Konkan coastal areas in the west till Nellore and Kadapa in the east of Andhra Pradesh, and from Krishna river in the north till Kaveri river in the south. After Hakka or Harihara, Bukkaraya came to the throne, because Hakka or Harihara did not have any sons. So Bukkaraya succeeded Harihara. Bukkaraya ruled from 1357 to 1377 CE. He had a brave son named Kampana, who expanded the empire till Madurai by defeating the Sultan of Madurai. We already know that the Madurai and many other glorious kingdoms were under the control of the Delhi Sultans. Madurai was also ruled by a Sultan. So this Kampana, Bukkaraya's son, defeated the Sultan of Madurai and occupied Madurai. This was explained very well in a book named Madura Vijayam, which was written by Kampana's queen Ganga Devi. Bukka also defeated the Reddis of Kondavidu and captured Penukonda. Penukonda also came under the control of Bukkaraya. Another important thing to be noted about Bukkaraya is that he had brought harmony. That is, he had made peace with the two conflicting religions, Jains and Vaishnavas. So he had settled many problems between the Jains and the Vaishnavas. This is explained in a stone inscription that is found at Shravanabelagala. This inscription was dated in 1368 CE. We shall revise all the points we have learnt about Bukkaraya. Bukkaraya came to the throne after Harihara, as Harihara did not have any sons. He ruled from 1357 to 1377 CE. Bukkaraya's son Kampana defeated the Sultan of Madurai and expanded the empire till Madurai. This was explained in the book Madura Vijayam, written by Ganga Devi, the queen of Kampana. Bukkaraya defeated the Reddis of Kondavidu and captured Penukonda. Bukkaraya is well remembered not only for the extending his empire but also for his religious tolerance and his way of bringing peace among different religions. This can be noted in the stone inscription of Shravanabelagala, which explains how he pacified the Jains and Vaishnavas and brought harmony among them. This inscription is dated in 1368 CE. After Bukkaraya, Harihara II, Bukkaraya II, Virupaksha II, Devaraya I, Veera Vijayaraya ruled Vijayanagara Empire. Devaraya or Prouda Devaraya ruled Vijayanagara Empire from 1424 to 1446 CE. Devaraya II, he was the famous king of Sangama dynasty. His period is significantly important period. He had built a new army which included Muslim soldiers who were skilled in archery and horse taming. That is, they were very good in archery and they were also very good in horse taming. That is, how to train the horse. And also they were very good in horse riding. So Devaraya II, he included Muslim soldiers in his army who were very good in horse riding and archery. With the help of this army, he defeated the Reddy leaders of Kondavidu region. He also defended the famous Mudgal fort, Raichur and Bankapur by fighting with Ahmad Shah of Bahmani Sultans. That is, he protected the Mudgal fort, Raichur and Bankapur by fighting with Ahmad Shah. Devaraya's brave commander Lakkana Dandesha defeated the kings of Kerala and Sri Lanka and he collected lot of treasure and cash from them. Prouda Devaraya, who had religious tolerance, built Jain and Vaishnava temples in the capital, and not only that, he also permitted to build mosques also. Telugu poet Srinatha, a Sanskrit philosopher Dindima, and Kannada poet and also a minister Lakkanna Dandesha were patronized in his kingdom. Devaraya II, he had the titles like Gajabentegara, Chatussamudradhishwara, Ariraya Vibhada. After the death of Devaraya II in 1446, his son Mallikarjuna succeeded to the throne, who ruled from. After Mallikarjuna, Virupaksha III ruled from 1465 to 1480. The later kings who came after were very weak. Because of this, a strong commander, Saluva Narasimha, captured the capital. With this incident, the rule of Sangama dynasty ended in 1485 CE. Let us recall the points which we have learnt. Devaraya II was also called as Prouda Devaraya, who ruled from 1424 to 1446 CE. He was the famous king of the Sangama dynasty, and his period was significant in the Vijayanagara dynasty. As soon as he took over the power, he built a new army which included Muslim soldiers who were skilled in archery and horse taming also. With the help of this army, he defeated the Reddis of Kondalidu region. He defended or protected the famous Mudgal Fort, Raichur and Bankapur by fighting with Ahmad Shah of Bahmani Sultans. His brave commander Lakkanna Dandesha defeated the kings of Kerala and Sri Lanka and collected treasure and tribute in cash from them. Prouda Devaraya had religious tolerance, so he had built Jain and Vaishnava temples and also gave permission to build mosques also. Prouda Devaraya gave encouragement to many poets also. He patronized, that is, he supported the Telugu poet Srinatha, the Sanskrit philosopher Dindima, and the Kannada poet Lakkanna Dandesha, who was also a minister. Vaishnavism got a new life under Prouda Devaraya's rule. The later kings who came after Virupaksha III were very weak. Because of this, a strong commander, Saluva Narasimha, captured the capital. With this incident, the rule of Sangama dynasty ended in 1485 CE. So the rule of Sangama dynasty ends and the rule of Saluva dynasty begins. Saluva Narasimha took over the throne and ruled for 6 years, that is, from 1485 to 1491 CE. His children were minors, that means they were still young, they were not able to do the administration. So, after Saluva Narasimha's death, the kingdom was protected by a commander, Tuluva Narasanayaka, from 1491 to 1503 CE. So here ends the rule of Saluva dynasty and the rule of Tuluva dynasty begins. In 1505 CE, Veera Narasimha, son of Tuluva Narasanayaka, started the rule of Tuluva dynasty. After his death in 1509, his brother Krishnadevaraya came to power. Krishnadevaraya ruled from 1509 to 1529 CE. Robert Seville, who has written the book of Forgotten Empire, has stated that Krishnadevaraya was an uncommonly brave king, intelligent soldier, and a diplomatic expert. He defeated his enemies and extended his empire in South India. Krishnadevaraya had to face many revolts in the beginning. He seized Shivanasamudra fort from Umattur chief Gangaraja in 1510 CE. Later, he won Raichur fort. He won Udaygiri fort. Then, in 1518 CE, he captured Cuttack, which was the capital of Gajapati Prataparudra, a Kalinga king, by defeating him, and he married his daughter Jaganmohini. In 1522, he captured Raichur from the king Adil Khan. He also captured Kalburgi and Bidar forts. He got released, the son of king who was imprisoned by Bahmani prime minister, and made him get back his power in Bidar. For this, he got the title Yavana Rajya Pratishtapanacharya, that is, Yavana Rajya Pratishtapanacharya. Vijayanagara kingdom was expanded in all four directions at the time of his death in 1529 CE. You can see the map, children, his empire. Domingo Pace, who visited his kingdom, stated Krishnadevaraya was a soft person with a strong body in his book. Krishnadevaraya is undoubtedly considered to be the greatest ruler. He possessed the largest empire in India after the decline of the Delhi Sultanate, that is, the fall of Delhi Sultanate. He is regarded as an icon by many Indians. He had earned the titles Kannada Rajya Ramaramana, which means the Lord of the Kannada Empire, Andhra Bhoja, as he encouraged Telugu literature. Not only that, he himself was a poet who wrote Amukta Malayada in Telugu. Also had the title of Muru Rayara Ganda, which means the king of three kings. He became the dominant ruler of the peninsular India, that is, South India, by defeating the sultans of Bijapur, Golconda, the Bahmani sultans, and the Gajapatis of Odisha. After Krishnadevaraya, Achyutaraya came to power. He ruled from 1530 to 1542 CE, and after him came Sadashivaraya, who ruled from 1543 to 1565 CE. Since Sadashivaraya was a minor and unable to rule, Ramaraya of Alavidu dynasty, who was the son-in-law of Krishnadevaraya, took the whole responsibility of administration. Ramaraya's diplomacy, that is, the tactics he used to expand the Vijayanagara Empire, made the kingdom very rich. Obviously, the number of enemies also increased. Deccan sultans were attacking Vijayanagara often. To take revenge, Ramaraya captured Vijayapura and Golconda. This was the main cause for the war. There were 5 sultanates who got united themselves with jealousy and hatred on the growth and richness of Vijayanagara kingdom. Though the sultanates had enmity between each other themselves, still they got united to defeat Vijayanagara. On 23rd January of 1565 CE, the Rakkasatangadi War began between the united army of sultans and the army of Vijayanagara on the banks of Krishna river. This battle was also called as Battle of Talikota or Rakkasatangadi battle, which was the main reason for the downfall of the Vijayanagara Empire. As we have seen that the battle took place between the united army of the sultans and the Vijayanagara army, you can see in this map, children, the green colored places. You can see the 5 Deccan Sultanate in this map. They are the Sultan of Berar, the Sultan of Ahmednagar, the Sultan of Bidar, Sultan of Golconda and the Sultan of Bijapur. The red colored X mark just below the broken line was the battleground of the Rakkasatangadi war. Results of Rakkasatangadi battle or Talikota battle. Ramaraya died in the war. The Sultanates looted Vijayanagara. Tirumala and Venkata, the sons of Ramaraya, escaped from the war and ran away to Penukonda. After this war, the feudal chiefs who were under the Vijayanagara Empire like Mysuru, Keladi, Chitradurga, Yelahanka and Surapura became independent rulers in Karnataka. Arabidu dynasty. Tirumala Raya and Venkataraya, who escaped from the war, ran away to Penukonda and started their rule from Penukonda. Later, they made Chandragiri and Vellore as their capital. Arabidu dynasty ruled from 1570 to 1646 CE. This ends the rule of all the 4 dynasties that ruled Vijayanagara Empire. Now, I want you to do an activity. That is, you have to draw a map of India and mark the places that Krishnadevaraya captured during his rule. Hope you have understood the lesson. If you have any doubts, you can ask me through WhatsApp or you can contact me and clear your doubts. We shall learn about the contributions of Vijayanagara Empire in the fields of administration, social status, economic status, literature, religious tolerance, art and sculpture in our next video. Thank you, children.